Hello, 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 everyone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I just want to make sure everyone can hear me okay. Thank you so much for being here. Transparent Talks. I truly, truly appreciate everyone here. I hope you can hear me. Can y'all give me a 1 in the chat if you can hear me? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. You were first. Thank you, the Bud Files. Thank you, dear. Thank you so much for being here. Natisha, thank you so much, and I appreciate that. Thank you for saying the thumbnail's hot. I appreciate it. I think you're going to sleep, right? It's really, or no, you're waking up, right? Or something like that. It's really early over there, I think. That's what I think. Miss Alice, thank you so much for being here. Tim, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Loud and clear. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hope everyone's having a great week. This is Thursday night. Well, here anyway. It's Thursday night here. I know everyone has it probably Not, I don't know how to say it. Natechovi. I think it's Friday morning, probably. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I've had a rough week, and but I'm doing a lot better. So I just wanted to come on here. It's Transparent Talks. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Your weight loss is very inspiring. 5 a.m. here. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it was the morning time over there. So it's already Friday morning over there. I got it. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Your weight loss is very inspiring. I thank you. Thank you so much. This week, I just wanted to talk. This is my transparent talk. So I just wanted to come on here and be pretty transparent. It's been a rough one. It's been a rough week. And that's what I wanted to come and talk about. You know, I just wanted to be honest and pretty transparent as I like to be, right? But like I always like to do, I'm going to start out with the verse of the day. Yes, I was live some few minutes. I saw your notification. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. April, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate you. Love you so much. I thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I subbed your house through Goga's live, I think. Yes, you did. Yeah, I remember I was on Goga's Sunday service, and that's where I met you at. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But I wanted to thank you. Thank you. I usually start out with the verse of the day, and I want to go ahead and do that, okay? I'm going to go ahead. I chose a verse that my bestie is my executive producer. Thank you so much for being here, bestie. I truly appreciate it. I know you've had a tiring week and long week too. So I do appreciate it. I appreciate you helping me out in the background. And I wanted to, he pinned the verse of the day for me. That's 2 Timothy 1:7. This is the King James Version. I'm going to read. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. I'll read that one again, right? For God has not given us the spirit of fear. Hold on, I'm going to... Oh, okay, it is lit. Oh, sorry. For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So I have been talking about some of these topics, and this just really hits home. This verse, it really reminds me of that fear. That fear is not from God. It's something that tries to like attach itself to us when pressure rises or when we don't know what's going to come next, right? But God says He hasn't given us that power. He hasn't given us the power of fear. He gave us the power of love and of a sound mind. He gave us power of love and of a sound mind. Power to keep going, love to stay grounded, and a sound mind to stay steady even when frustration takes over, tries to take over, you know? And that's what He did, you know? So when fear shows up, we have a choice. We have a choice. We can either agree with it or we can remember what God already placed inside of us. And that is for us to make that choice. So today I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk, which one are you allowing today? Which one are you allowing to win? Fear or faith? And that's basically what I wanted to come and talk about because it's something that I've been dealing with. If either any of y'all have been catching my daily little inspirations, my light breaks with Joe, I've been taking a break daily from work, from the middle of my workday, and just sharing some thoughts that I've been having. And it's basically, you know, I'm pretty transparent when it comes to everything I do. And it's truly what I go through. And, a lot of us, you don't know, and I say it all the time, you don't know what anybody else is going through, unless they tell you, right? Thank you so much for being here, Scott Truth. I appreciate it. I truly appreciate you being here. You said, for the message of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God. 1 Corinthians 1:18. That is very, very true. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. I truly do. Thank you. If you haven't already, could you all hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. But I was mentioning, I've been sharing some talks that I've been talking about, and it's basically topics that I've been going through. That's what I've been sharing about, and it's basically just making that choice, making the choice of what we're going to allow. Either we're going to allow that fear that we go through, that we're walking into, wherever we go, wherever you are today. We either make the choice to walk in the fear of the unknown, or live by faith and just keep going, keep trusting God in the process that's happening in our lives, and trusting the growth that's happening inside of us. And that's basically what I wanted to talk about today, because it's just so much that is going on all around us, right? It goes on everywhere, everything that's going on. And I try to, that's the reason that I came up with that daily little light break that I have, because I need that encouragement. I need that encouragement for myself, just to keep going, because guys, sometimes things happen and we get sidetracked, and everything we know as it is, just all of a sudden can just be wiped from under our feet. And I mean, it's very true. Things happen and you just never know. You never know what's going to happen next. You never know. If you work in corporate America, you never know what's going to happen with that business that you don't really have control over. You just have control over how you react to the things that are happening. So you just have to keep going forward. You have to keep trusting. You have to keep, and you have to also, you have to keep yourself grounded and ready for what comes next, right? We have to stay grounded. There's a lot of things that I go out here and try to learn, and try to keep myself moving and doing, different things, just in case things do happen. And that's why we have to continue to do those things, right? And continue to remind ourselves that, hey, we need to keep going. We need to keep making sure that we have backups and things of that nature. So in case something does happen, we don't lose control over what we don't have control over. But one of the things we do have control over is how we react to it, right? How we're reacting to the things that happen. I wanted to ask some of the things that happen to you. How are you able to handle those things? How are you able to, maneuver and just keep going and keep yourself going in those situations? Those things that happen, we have to keep ourselves grounded and inspired. And that's one of the things that I do, is with God's word. I have to keep myself in the word and make sure that no matter what, I can have something that I can go to and keep myself inspired, because I can't allow the things that happen that I don't have control over take me over. Those are some of the things that I wanted to share today. if today feels heavy, if today feels like we just don't, the unknown, just keep going, and you're not you're not going to fall behind if you just keep breathing and keep going in the direction that you need to go. And that's what I wanted to share today. What keeps you grounded? I truly, I mean, that's literally what I have to remind myself of. I have to keep myself grounded and in God's word to make sure that I don't fall behind. And I have to keep going because, I mean, let's be honest, no one else is going to keep you going but yourself here on this earth. So we have to stay grounded in God's word as as believers, right? And that way we can continue to just go forward and be reminded of what is most important. Thank you so much, Miss Alice. Yes, your peer, he's helping me in the background. But that's mainly what I wanted to talk about. I didn't I had some of the things, I mean, I just had so many things going on. I was really, it was, hey, Vaughn, thank you so much for being here. I shared a little bit with Vaughn, as a matter of fact, but it was one of those things that it was just, it was just all of a sudden, that we found out that there's some things that could happen, and you just never know how could it, how it could go. And I was just trying to hold on and trying to stay faithful and make sure that I kept my faith strong and didn't let anything get me off course. A lot of times we allow things to just take us off course and make us fear more than have the faith, and so that's why I have to remind myself, like, what am I going to allow? What am I going to allow? Am I going to allow that fear to take over me, or am I going to stand in my faith, so I can continue forward? Hey, Ray Franklin, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Jojo, hey, Jojo. Thank you. I appreciate you. Hey, Nestos, thank you so much, dear. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for following me on Instagram, too. I love your inspirations on Instagram. I really appreciate them. Really do. Hey, Vaughn, I have a question for you. What do you use to keep yourself grounded? I want to know, for real. It's not a trick question either. Let me know. Let me know. I just want you to remember, you don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to keep showing up, even when you are in fear. And I'm going to tell you, I mentioned this the other day. One of the things that I go to read literally when I have fear, and I used it this week, or I went to it this week, just like I always mention that I did. I go to Psalms 23. And I mean, I truly do, because, as a single mother, I really, if something happens, hi Gorilla, thank you so much for being here. My new song cover video has been released. Please support us a lot. Sure. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Like done. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I appreciate you. So when that, I was saying, when that fear hits, I go to Psalms 23 and I read it over and over. Yes, ma'am. That's where I go to. I go to Psalms 23 and I'm like just reading it over and over. It's like, ah, and I had to use it this week, you know? It was actually started on Friday because I just got some news, and it's like how I talk about all the time, that wrench that gets thrown in. A wrench just gets thrown in all of a sudden, and it's like, what am I going to do? How am I going to handle it? My kids and me, that's my recipe to stay grounded. And you're right, Ray. Like you have to go back to your why. You know, it's your why, and it's true. It's true in everything. We talk about it in weight loss, right? For instance, in weight loss, people talk about, why did you even start? Don't get off track and don't get off your journey or your diet or whatever they want to call it, right? And one of the main things that we use to stay on track or to stay motivated, because we're not always motivated, right? But one of the things that we have to go back to in life, period, just like you mentioned, we have to remember our why. We have to remember, why did we start in the first place, and we have to stay in alignment, put God first every single time. And that's one of the reminders I really loved. I loved getting that reminder this week, because I was like really, truly just going through. And thank you for being here, sis. No, it's not a problem. You're not late at all. I'm chit-chatting, talking about transparent, just being transparent. And I got some news thrown in, and I literally had my bestie remind me, hey, you put God first. You put God first. So trust in that, and there's a lot of things that happen, whether we have just what I'd like to call rent. I mean, that's the way it feels. It feels like things happen that we just don't expect or we don't know will happen. And that's the reason that we're out here trying to make sure that we are ready, right? We're ready for whatever comes our way. And sometimes, you don't know, right? You don't know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. But when things do happen, it's like, what are we going to allow? Are we going to allow fear to take over our situation or take over us at that time? Or are we going to stand on our faith? Are we going to, that faith that we continue to build, because putting God first in our faith and what we believe, right? As believers, if we do, and that's what I had to be reminded of, like, hey, you put God first in everything you do. So trust in him. Trust in him that he's going to have you, and whatever does happen, come what may, it's going to be the best thing for you, or for what he has for you, aligned for you. And it's not always easy. And I know that it's not always easy to accept whatever does come, but we have to stand in trust and faith that, and believe that it is the best for those that love God, right? It's what he has for us, and what's happening. But it's about being grounded. It's about putting him first and making sure that even if we don't have it all figured out, we just have to keep showing up, and we have to give ourselves grace. Sorry if I hit this thing. We have to give ourselves grace. We have to, I was very upset. I was very upset at myself because I was allowing that fear to take over me. I couldn't, I don't think I've slept in the last few days very well at all. I can think about just last night. It was after 1 o'clock that I finally got to bed. and I woke up at 4:21 in the morning. So I didn't get many hours of sleep. And 4:21, I was up and power went out. I didn't go back to sleep. You know, so I haven't gotten much sleep, but it's just it's one of those things. It's one of those things where my mind is just going and going and going, and I just have so I get upset with myself. I get upset with myself that I allow that fear to overtake me. I allow worry to overtake me. And you can see it written all over my face because I don't hide it. I'm very, very transparent. I carry it on my face. As I'm told, I carry it on my shoulders, I mean, and it's true. But I have to make that decision on, am I going to allow that fear to take over me? And it's a lot of, what this verse was talking about. He gives us a sound mind. So our mind, we have to take control over our mindset. We have to take control because no one else can choose and can do it for us. It's our choice on where we get our mind set. We have to ground ourselves and set our mind on the promises that we have. And wherever you are today, your mind can shift, your mood can shift, your day can shift too. But I wanted to come on here and remind you that you are stronger than you think. You are. And that's why you just have to give yourself grace and enough. You have to, even if you just take a few minutes every day so you can just take a deep breath. And it's not about going fast and continuing. Yes, we have to keep going. That's what we have to stay grounded and make sure we keep going. But give yourself grace. That's what I have to continue to remind myself, because everything will work out exactly the way it's supposed to. We have to believe that. We have to remember that you can start fresh at any moment, because having that mindset grounded, we can restart every single day, every single moment that we have grace to be able to start again. It doesn't mean that we are behind, or it doesn't mean that we messed up or failed. It's just we are human. We are human. We are human. Yes, you are right. God is faithful. Very much indeed. I truly, truly, truly thank you all for being here. I mean, it's been a week, so I really, because it was just so heavy. It was so heavy. And I mean, this morning, that's why I did my light break today. And it was like, man, I cannot allow the eggshells that I'm walking on, I mean, that's the way I've been feeling, right? I literally just walking on eggshells, not knowing what's going to happen, not knowing if the ground is going to be taken from under me. That's the way I'm feeling. That's the way I was feeling, and it doesn't mean that everything is perfect or everything is not. I mean, it's just that heavy feeling. And no matter what, we have to just remember that it doesn't mean that we're failing. We are growing through everything that we go through. We're growing because that tough time that we're going through, each tough time that we're going through, it gets us stronger for the next one. Because, let's be honest, right? We're going to go through another tough time. We are, right? We're going to have one right around the corner, probably. But one thing that I always remember is that I do have to learn what the current one is teaching me so I don't have to go through that one again. I have to learn what I'm supposed to learn from the tough time that I'm going through or the struggle that I'm going through currently. That way I don't necessarily have to go through that one again. Because, I mean, let's face it, right? If we don't master one test, we have to take it again. I don't want to take tests again. I don't want to keep taking tests. I want to ace them each time. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Exactly. 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 You know what, guys, I remember you reminded me when you brought up Romans 8:28. I'm going to tell y'all something. It's that whole that's actually a place in the Bible that we were led to when I was going through tough times in my marriage. And he wanted to go through, hey Lisa, thank you for being here. He wanted to go through marriage counseling with our pastor. And he wanted to through spiritual marriage counseling. And he wanted to go through marriage counseling. And I said, okay, so we went. And that's where he told us to go read, basically. He told us to go read that chapter. Okay. I think it was Romans 6, 7, and 8, actually. Those 3 chapters, I believe, if I'm not wrong. But I believe it's Romans 6, 7, and 8. All 3 chapters, in other words. But one of the things I remember is, or that it reminded me of is, I believe, if you want to go for counseling or you want to go for spiritual counseling, especially, then there's no reason. It's kind of like, if you're going to go for spiritual counseling and you're going requesting it, then why are you going to go trying to hide or trying to act like only certain things are happening, or, not be completely transparent? And one thing about me, I don't like to be fake, I really don't. I'm not, especially if you go to someone to ask for counseling or hey, listen, right? I don't know what they're supposed to do as a counselor, but you go to them. So why wouldn't you be transparent? Why wouldn't you go to share everything? But, and that's what I did. They asked questions and I was being transparent and I was being honest, and this is what we do and this is what's going on. And I just spilled it, right? Pretty honest and everything. Even if some of the things that we were, that was happening was not completely spiritual or aligned with the Word of God, or, because it wasn't. And so anyway, I was just honest. And when we got out of there, I remember him saying, I can't believe you told him that. And I was like, it's just bizarre to me. Like, if you're going and asking for assistance or asking for help or asking for someone else's take on your situation, right? Why would you let your fear of being honest keep you from sharing? Especially if you're going to ask, why are you going to go be fake? Right? I just don't get that. But that is where you mentioned that's where they led us to go read, to start out reading. Those are the 3 books that they asked us to go start reading in. And that's what reminded me of. But And that's the thing. That was his thing. It was the fear of somebody else's thought about what was happening, but you go and ask for help, so why would you let fear overtake you in anything? That's the whole thing. That's the whole my whole process or thought process, um why do we let fear overtake in anything in life, in every aspect of life, um I mean, and it doesn't mean that we are wrong, right? Just like I said earlier, we are human. We are human, and it's going to happen. I, I know. I know it's going to happen because it happens with me, as early as this morning. I woke up and I was like, I didn't let it overtake me. I didn't let it overtake me. I still plowed forward, right? I'm not perfect at all. Believe me, I'm not. And that's why I just have to continue to remind myself, you're growing through everything that you're going through. You're growing. The thing is, like, one of the things that I try to remind myself also is that I owe it to myself to keep becoming, to keep growing into what I need to be at so I can handle the things that come at me. Because let's face it, I mean, I things happen, and we just don't know what's going to happen. That's that hard part about faith. I mean, and nobody can tell you they're perfect. I'm sorry. I don't believe it, you know. But you know what though? Um One of the main things that I'm actually part of this sisterhood, and we get together and we go through prayer and fasting, because prayer is what keeps us connected to God, right? And fasting is what disconnects us from those that sacrifice that we fast from, right? And so it kind of disconnects us from what is continuing to keep us connected. So for instance, if you fast from social media, I know we've talked sometimes about social media can be addicting or can be overwhelming sometimes. So if you choose to fast from social media, that fasting time is literally disconnecting you from that, the way you feel about you being connected with that. Same thing with food, right? If you sacrifice and fast from that food during that sacrifice, or during that time of sacrifice, right? Or fasting time frame, that's what's disconnecting you. But at the same time, when you're doing it spiritually, uh, for fasting and prayer, you're disconnecting from the things that are keeping you connected, or overwhelmed with, and then you incorporate prayer during that time. And those are the things that pretty what like pretty much keep us stronger in the times when we have these things that come, that were things are not clear, and we need to have clarity, or we need to have some peace of mind because things happen, right? So that prayer and fasting is pretty much what keeps us, that gives us that stronghold to be able to stand at that time. That's what our sisterhood, that's what we have been going through. um they're the ones, if you hear my phone going off, they're the ones that are been contacting, because literally we're in the middle of that right now. But I went to go pull up what you shared, sis. Philippians 4:6-7. I think I got it right. Be careful for nothing, but in everything, by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God. And the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. Yes, ma'am. And that is what, and that's what I was talking about, because that's exactly what we're going through right now. And then um, we do that in a spiritual aspect, right? We do that because we're trying to stay strong for when things happen, and that way we don't allow. I was talking about earlier today. We allow that sometimes there's envy and there's jealousy that are surrounding us for whatever reason, and that when there's people that have that against you, or that comes against you, they literally try to take you off course purposely because they're envious or they're jealous, right? And so that is literally sometimes what's coming at your, at the back of your knees, trying to hit you in the back of the knees and just, to stumble you. And that's what we have to be grounded for, just in case those things happen, right? And that's why we use, the different things, and staying grounded and staying in prayer and staying in fasting, because like I was saying, um, Friday, when it was just revealed, it was actually leaked, and we just didn't know what was going to happen, you know. And it's one of those things, like you just have no idea, and you just have to brace yourself to see, okay, what's going to happen. But and it's always good to have people who can speak into you, and speak positive to you. And that was the reason that I just kept going every day. Even I kept doing my light breaks with Joe, so I could just remind myself, you got this, it's okay. Let me continue doing what I want to do, what I want to encourage others, because that's really what drives me trying to encourage someone else, even though I need the encouragement. But in essence, I'm encouraging myself, you know? So that's the reason that I literally have to just keep going. And I even tell my bestie, like, I gotta do it. I can't allow myself to just, how do you say, burrow into a cave, I was I was telling my brother, it's like I can't just go burrow into a cave, and like a bear, and just go and hide. Like, that would make no sense. It would make no sense at all. We all deserve clarity, we deserve peace, and we have to keep striving for it, you know? That's the main thing. We have to keep protecting what's, in our mind, in our mindset. We have to keep protecting our peace. And that includes, and we've mentioned it before, that includes allowing, being cognizant and being intentional about what we allow in our mind, especially when things, like I said, when things happen and you don't know what's gonna come your way, right? And if you keep allowing all this negativity, all this beef, all this ugliness, you know of negative people, or, I mean, we have to be cognizant of what we allow, because we have to be in control of our mindset and what enters our mind, because our peace, that's what's precious. That's what we have to, get a hold of, because our mindset, man, our mind is powerful. We can make or break ourselves through our mind. You can make yourself sick. It's Our mindset is so important, and no one else should have control of our mindset. other than us. You have to take control of it. You can't just be listening to anyone and everyone and just playing mind games or allowing others to play mind games with you. Because we have to stay strong in our mind, because it truly can make or break you. And that's the whole thing. Like, we're capable of doing that. You're capable of doing that. We don't have to just allow just anybody and anything and anyone to have control over it for us. We are capable of doing that for ourselves. We are still growing. We are still, man, we're still breathing. So we still have another chance, right? We still have, that's why we have to stay grateful. We have to stay, hey, I woke up another day and I have to do what I need to do so I can continue strong in my mind, strong in my health, strong in my stance, because I have to fill my cup to be able to be good for anyone else. That the whole thing is, we're worthy of the best version of our life, to try to get that best version that we have, that we can give. We are worthy of that. And we have to make sure that we are striving for that, regardless of what comes against us. Hey, Abril. Buddha, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you, Abril. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I just wanted to share some encouragement. Mi vida loca machete. Thank you so much for being here. Good evening. Thank you so much. I think that's Buddha, right? That's your other one. I appreciate it. Thank you. I just wanted to share just a few thoughts. Just trying to. I knew it. Thank you, Buddha. Thank you so much for being here. I just wanted to share some encouragement, because there's just so much that goes on, and we go through so much, and I just have to. I just wanted to come on and inspire someone, or try to inspire you just as much as I'm trying to inspire myself, because where we put our thoughts, what we do in everything that we do, it truly matters, and it's going to make a difference in whether we allow ourselves to choose fear or to choose faith. It truly, that's what's going to come down to. We're either going to allow, fear to take over and overtake us, rather than faith, and what we're staying grounded in that faith. That was the reason I started out with 2 Timothy 1:7. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, and of love, and of a sound mind. That's what he gave us. And we have to remember, he didn't, that's not what he was giving us. Fear is not of God. And that's one of the things I have to remind myself every time. My mom would give me a call, and she'd be, just fearful of, she had cataract surgery, and I'd tell her, Mom, if you're fearful, you're telling God you don't have trust in him, And I know that seems like minute, right? But it's literally, what I try to remind myself of, right? It's like, if I'm fearful, that's what I was doing this week. I was like fearful walking in every single day, and it's like I'm not I'm not standing on God's word, you know, because He tells me that's not of Him. He didn't give us a spirit of fear, you know. I was just reminded I have to just keep trusting in my faith with my whole heart, and even days where my emotions get pretty loud, you know, or my patience get tested, and I'm trying to hold it together. I just have to stand firm in everything that I work every single day to remind myself about, you know, so I can allow faith to take over. So I can allow and stand on my faith because He already knows what's ahead. He's already been there. We just have to stay strong so we can handle it once we get there. And that's why, and that's the other thing, reminding myself, you know, oh, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil because thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. And I have to remind myself of that. So I truly appreciate everyone being here. I truly do. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Oh, let's go get this working. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. That's probably you too, Buddha, right? Namaste. You're doing great. Thank you, Buddha. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. My executive producer is having problems with his internet. It's raining here in Texas, super bad. It's raining really bad. It started raining here last night. I don't know what time it was, but it was raining and storming. That's why I woke up this morning at 4 in the morning because my power went out. The thunder was so bad and my power went out this morning. And then I think it came back on in about an hour, something like that. But that means that the storm, but it's still been raining. It's still been raining. Earlier, when I took my son to work, it was still raining, thundering really hard here, and took him to work. But it went east. It went east to where Bestie is, so he's getting that rain and thunder now. But it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Thank you, Alice. I appreciate it. And you know what? Thank you for your live earlier. See that envy and jealousy that I was talking about? No. I told Vaughn, quit hating. I appreciate it though. Thank you. I try. You know what? I was telling you, you know how you said that that means I pay attention because I got, what was it? I got four questions correct. I'm actually told, and I don't know if you read it in the chat, but I was telling you that I'm actually told sometimes that it's pretty scary how much details I pay attention to. Hey, I said what I said. Thank you for being here. My bestie tells me it's pretty scary that I really do pay attention to details. And he says that probably too much sometimes. But I think it's isn't it? I don't know the quote, but I think it's in the details. We got to pay attention to the details. I really do. I really pay attention to details. I mean, you know, and that's why, like, if I create something, I'm down to the detail. Probably nobody else is gonna think about or pay attention to the details that I pay attention to, but I really do. Like, I think about all the little things, you know. So I'm very detailed. I really am. I got some wrong though. I was mad. Can never be too much. Man, I'm telling you, Buddha, I don't know. But you know, a man's not really detailed all the time. Well, they're not, right? But I pay attention to details. I really do. So, but I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone. The devil is in the details. So what does that mean, Miss Alice? So I shouldn't pay attention to the details. I don't pay attention to the details if he's in the details. That way I can stay away from him. Details is very important. You can learn a lot by the way. I know. He's telling me he got kicked off. He got kicked off. I already knew. Details is very important. You can learn a lot by the way they talk, move, and act. So, because if that's the truth, Miss Alice, the devil's in the details. Yes, that's why. That's why. That's just the quote. I know, but if you think about it, if you think about the quote, right? If the devil's in the details, that's in the details. You got to pay attention to, right? You got to pay attention. You can't be you can't be fooled by them details. You got to pay attention to the details. You got to. You got to pay attention to the details. I do, man. I really do. Like you tell me, like this, I can just like if you're talking to me about what your outlook is, or what you want what you want to do, or what you want to, your goals, whatever, and I'll come up with something so I can help you, because of what you want to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? So I just pay attention to all the little details and then give you something that might help. That's what I mean. That's what he means. I'm in law enforcement. Oh, okay. And that's what he means, because like, it's like, okay, so I'll put something together. It's like, okay, is this what you're thinking of? And it's like, oh yeah, that's what I was thinking of, but it's just because I pay attention to the, to what you're talking about or whatever, but anyway, I was there for 1.5 years and became myself now. No, I was when I was younger. But Buddha, you're young though. And I've always followed the details. You have to. It's very important, I think. I really do think so. I truly do. It pays to pay attention. Because it's harder for them to fool you. It's harder for them to fool you. Thank you so much. I said what I said. That's detailed. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I said what I said is saying hello to everyone. Thank you so much. Literally and figuratively. Yes, ma'am. I watched Law and Order all the time. I think I watched all the reruns since I was young. And yes, my father taught me to always look at the details and follow my gut instinct. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for being here. So what I said, oh, Miss Alice, your peer got kicked off. He was my executive producer, but he got kicked off. So, but yes, I just wanted to share, just some inspiration, because everything that I've been going through, and it's really real, it's really real. But no, I really had been going through a lot, and just on eggshells, and I kind of touched on it on my live during my lunchtime, but everything turned out okay. Everything's gonna be okay. Yeah, yeah. It's just, because of the weather. The weather's been pretty bad here in Texas. I don't know why. I saw somebody say it's like raining for, it's raining for all the time that it hadn't rained, because it hadn't rained for a little while. It had been raining a lot, but probably in the last month it really hadn't rained, I don't think, which is kind of odd right here in Texas. Queen to Queen, thank you for being here. Oh, it's okay. There he is. There's Bestie. It's okay. I was explaining that we were having storms since last night. I lost power, and then it was still raining earlier when I took my son to work. It was raining a lot, and how you doing, Miss Queen? How you doing, Clayleen? Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. I was just trying to give some inspiration and, just things that were going on with me, and just been talking about that. Just trying to make it do. I'm doing great. God is so good. He is. He really is. All the time. God is good all the time. And that's why I just have to keep reminding myself, He's still guiding every step, no matter what. We got to still keep choosing faith. We have to show up. We have to choose to trust. And even when we can't see the bigger picture, right? We can't see the bigger picture, but that's where faith is. That's where faith is. And we have to keep in mind that He is still guiding our steps. He's still guiding every step. And that's what I pray. I pray that what I say, what I think, what I do, for it to be guided by Him. So if I'm praying for that, then why don't I trust that that's what's happening, right? That exactly what I am doing or what I'm going through, He's guiding that. He's with me. I'm not alone. Even though, man, that's where we often get fooled in our mind. Sometimes I'll just feel like, man, especially after losing like the closest in my life for me. And after losing them, it gets real easy to just think that I'm alone. That is what pops into my head. That's what toys with my mind. And that's why I have to remind myself. I gotta keep my mind. I am in control. I am in control where I choose to set my mind. I have to take control of it, But I just wanted to share. I just wanted to share with you all because, man, everything that we go through, it just seems like, it can either make or break us, right? What we choose. Are you going to choose? Are you going to allow fear to take over you? But that's why I wanted to share, man, He didn't give us the spirit of fear. And we got to remind ourselves that. We have to remind ourselves every single day. Some days, even if faith, even if frustration tries to show up at the same time as faith, we have to remind ourselves, no matter what, we got to grow through it and not let it overtake us. I truly, truly appreciate you all. I hope everyone's having a great Thursday, though. I truly do. I totally understand the enemy will come and minister intrusive thoughts to sidetrack us. Baby, yes. Every single time. Every single time. It's like, why are you hating? Why are you hating so much? All the time. Every single time. It's like they don't want you to have peace. But and I have to remind myself, it's like, man, I control what I choose, right? Which one am I gonna allow when? Right? Because God tells me He did not give us the spirit of fear. He clearly said that. Where my bestie pinned it. He didn't give us the spirit of fear. Right there. For God hath not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So it's our choice, right? It's our choice. We have to be reminded of that. Regardless of that enemy that tries to overtake us. Every tactic of the enemy rebuked, denied, and returned to the sender. You're absolutely right. The enemy dwells and thrives in chaos, but the Lord said that he comes that you may have life in that more abundantly. Yes, ma'am. I truly, truly agree. Thank you, Abril. Thank you so much for being here. Blessings. See you later. I truly appreciate you being here. Honestly. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I just wanted to share that with you. I wanted to share just some encouragement with you all. And I hope you all have a great evening. I truly do. Have a great weekend. I truly appreciate you all stopping by. And with that, just remember, keep pushing through with me. We are stronger together. Trust and believe.